Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up next, we've got what should be a good one between the Denver Broncos and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Now we're about 5 miles northwest of downtown Tampa at beautiful Raymond James Stadium near Florida's Gulf Coast. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Denver Broncos and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Godden alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, you take a look at this Buccaneer ball club. And losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Broncos, it's late in the year. We all know it. We've seen the calendar for these guys. Their bodies could probably use a break, but they have to push on.
And they're really not as worried about that as maybe we think. They know they've got the entire offseason to rest. All they care about is the game in front of them and finishing strong.
First carry of the game here for Royce Freeman. He finds an opening past the 40. He's at the 40. 20. 10. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Royce Freeman, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Broncos have taken the early lead. The first play from scrimmage? Some of these people haven't even taken their seat.
That's what is commonly known as a fast start. That's what my horse racing friends would say. They caught a flyer out of the gate, and guess what? They're in the lead now.
One of the shortest drives you'll ever see. One play, 75 yards, 6 points. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be taken about the 12. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Set! 319! 319!
Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And he's going to be stopped here on this first play as he gets it to the line of scrimmage and no more. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. A look now at how Denver is going to line up defensively. They've been pretty much a mess against the pass, number 31 in the league.
And I think you're going to see some changes in the offseason, whether it's through the draft, free agency, maybe even both. They definitely need some help in the secondary.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down. That muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. He'll drop to throw. Flushed out right. Airing this one out for Evans. And the 3rd down pass falls incomplete.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready?
Going for Hilton, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Reggie Ragland. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
Offensively, when you see cover two, the thought has to go through the quarterback's head. Drive the football when making throws. It's not just the deep guys covering. It's the guys underneath you have to be careful of. Drive your throw. Otherwise, you see what results? Interceptions.
And a solid run down inside the 30. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber who runs like this early, because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
They'll look to throw here. He's going to go up top for the ends, and he hauls it in for the Buccaneer touchdown. Ty Montgomery, 29 yards. And the Buccaneers are an extra point away from tying up this football game. Well, go ahead and strap in, partner. Less than 2 minutes in, had the score on the one side. A quick answer, though, to get the equalizer.
Sometimes you get that sense of urgency that ratchets up, right? When you give up an early touchdown like that, you just know you're like, okay, how do we go back and equalize things? Can we get it done fast? And they absolutely did. Essentially, we're back to even, aren't we?
Extra point good by Catanzaro, and we are tied at 7. Hardly any time taken off the clock there. 2 plays, and they find the end zone for 6 points. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now Case Keenum in the offense heading back onto the field. And he'll need to find a way to shrug off the opening drive, if you can even call it a drive. 1 play and an interception, so he's got to forget that.
I know that in today's football, we have a good number of coaches who don't look at time of possession the way that the old school guys did. But there's still a place for it. I think that on this drive, after having thrown that interception, they're going to want to eat up a little bit more clock and run some offense and give their defense a little bit of a break.
And Thomas has it. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched him more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain that time, as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Ball start, offense.
That was a 3rd and somewhat manageable, now not so manageable.
Exactly,
Still
because you had a
down.
play call on that you felt like, hey, this could go quick, and it doesn't take much to get it done. Now, you got to start thinking about a little bit of a deeper route type of a call, especially if you want to throw it.
Throwing is Keenum on 3rd down. Trying to lay one up deep. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
What I loved about meeting with these coaches before the game is we didn't even have to ask any questions. They told us that they were going to be aggressive and push the ball downfield. They weren't successful on that play, but look for them to try it again later.
Yeah, last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown. Now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3.
That run right there was an offensive line coach's dream, wasn't it? Guys picked up all of their assignments, created a nice gap for the running back to get through. Pick up 7 yards. Yeah, he's probably chortling on the headset right now saying, we got it going, boys. Let's keep it going.
And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 12-yard line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agent.
And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. Derek Wolfe coming in to drop it for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
And Denver getting set to take the field. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try?
Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. Noah Spence in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility, the ends versus the tackles there, Charles?
Well, most of the time when you talk about the ends, they're your pass rushers. They're the guys that you turn loose to try and get to the guy who's going to throw the football. The tackles, usually more of the run-stuffing variety. But the way this game is advanced, you're wanting a little bit of everything out of all of your guys. But let's just go ahead and break it down and make it simple. The guy who's the right defensive end versus a right-handed quarterback, that's the blind side. He's going after the quarterback. He's going to put him on the ground.
And here are the defensive starters, and their coordinator is hoping that they have short-term memories from last week.
A very tough week indeed, Brandon. All they want to do now is be solid right out of the gate. No big plays given up early.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Keenum. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that Tucker rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward. Incomplete pass. Returnable here from the 38. Great move by Montgomery. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Buccaneer offense will be set up well as they take over. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency. Move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Good opening quarter for him. Remember, he had the sack earlier. Now a tackle for loss, another tackle for loss.
He's really making it tough on the play caller, though, isn't he? Because it's one thing to try and adjust when a guy is disrupting your running game. But when he's messing up your passing game as well, they may have to devote at least a second guy to him to try and keep him away from their plays.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. First connection there of the afternoon for those two, and it's good for a first down.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And caught left side, Olsen. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync,
All right, here we go.
stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
The receiving numbers for Kenny Stills in last week's game. 4 catches, 101 yards, and a score.
And he's trying to prove the adage, it's not just how you start, it's how you finish. And he is finishing awfully strong, takes great care of his body. I expect him to go ahead and put a capper on this season.
Let's go. Blue line it.
Now Elliott. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Give him 2 yards on that one. Second and goal now. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
Nothing on first down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line. Second and goal. He'll get it up the middle. And they're going to get him down, but not before a pretty good run right there. A nice run there, 8 yards, moves him much closer to the goal line now for third down. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on third, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that second down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run.
Hammering for the goal line. He loses the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Now Case Keenum and the offense heading back onto the field. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
Throwing on first down is Keenum. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up second and 10. On second down, Freeman breaks the tackle. He's got room to run. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
Now it's Keenum. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Bronco first down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Now a handoff. It's Freeman. And he's going to be stopped at about the 37. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid-type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
Keenum going to throw. Man open, he's got it complete to Cortland Sutton. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 18 yards on his first catch of the game. It's a first down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
This is Freeman, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
And it's caught. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Hilton's first catch, good for a first down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Got his man, it's Thomas. Touchdown, Denver. Demaryius Thomas hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Broncos are in for 6. And it was a tight window. He knew he had to rocket that thing in there. He got it done.
And when you're able to complete one like that, your confidence has to just go sky high. You just mentioned it. Tight window, zings it in there despite excellent coverage. Result, touchdown.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead is now 14-10. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And let's gaze our attention on Ezekiel Elliott. He's just been looking for some space. I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about it.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Greg Olsen was the intended target, and that'll bring up second down.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. And out across midfield down to the 45. Give him 30 yards there.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. Partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They'll look to throw here on first down. That's caught by Howard. And he's taken down inside the 30. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He had told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there, you know, kind of like put up in the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
That's going to be caught. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Back to throw again. And this is incomplete. He was trying to find O.J. Howard. That'll bring up 2nd down. You got a young quarterback. Maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that, because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide-open target, but didn't have the proper footwork.
And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Ezekiel Elliott, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Bucs are able to strike for 6.
We got a little bit of everything on that run. Offensive line creating some space. And how about the guy running behind his pads into the end zone?
What does that mean when a guy says running behind his pad?
Means that he's going to be a physical runner. That way he's able to use his shoulder pads, his forearms, anything to ward off people to power his way forward.
A drive that time of 6 plays. And it culminates in a touchdown run by Ezekiel Elliott. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And he gets it out to the 25-yard line. Flag down. This could set him back.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
Yeah, this is going to put him back with not great field position.
So they really got zero benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return. Then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case.
They go play action here on 1st down. He's going to look deep down the field. It got his man complete. And all the way down to the 37. It's a big play there for the Broncos. 48 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
So 2 minutes to go in a wild first half. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll send you cross-state to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have all the stats and all the scores from games going on during another busy Sunday in the National Football League. And he'll find Sutton on the right side complete. And he'll go down at the 28. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Working from the gun, Keenum. And Sutton hauls it in over the middle. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 13 yards as the quick slant keeps the drive moving.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game, because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
From the red zone, it's Keenum. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it, when you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave them with a 3rd down and 6 to go.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Throwing on 3rd down, Keenum. And he's got his man, Hilton. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop him with a tick under a minute to go before half. Ready to go as we get set to resume the action. So it's 1st and goal, and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break. Now Keenum. And he's got it. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. In for the score. And the Broncos are in for 6.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Already looking forward.
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but bottom line, his team's losing. They got to fix something.
And it starts with him. He has to keep that little quarterback strut going right now to make sure this team sees him as confident. Continue to try and up his game, but just let him know, hey, if I'm around, if I'm the one calling signals and throwing the football, just follow me, we'll get there. Sometimes that will do more to elevate a team than anything else.
See if he has that confidence. They're going to look to throw. Flush to his right. Throw right side, caught by O.J. Howard. A big play there just before halftime. 45 yards. And the young buck showing that ability, that agility to dance outside of the pocket, complete the deep ball.
And don't think for a second that the coaching staff didn't have their heart rate accelerate a little bit there, right? Anytime you have those young quarterbacks and they get outside of the pocket, you're just hoping that they make good decisions because so many things can happen that can go wrong when you throw it downfield like that. He got away with it there and in a big way.
And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he's got his tight end, Howard. It's a Buccaneer touchdown. O.J. Howard with touchdown number 20 on the year. And the Bucs are able to strike for 6. These two teams in this first half, it's been fun. Back and forth, back and forth. Well, it's not fun for the defensive coordinators, but offensive coordinators are enjoying it.
Yeah, they're having streaks here, aren't they? Being able to put scores together and really bunch them up, and we have a tight game here. You know, we often talk about having the right shoes for the right turf. Today it's track shoes. That's what we've seen with these offenses.
Yeah, it's been an absolute track meet so far, and fun to watch. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Another drive getting ready to start here for Demaryius Thomas. Well, he's within shouting distance of a 1,000-yard season. Going to need a pretty good finish, though, if he wants to reach that mark.
Well, I like how you phrased it, partner. He is within shouting distance. If he stays on this pace, he's got a shot at it. But he needs a big game in there, right, to make sure that he gets it. So you know that during the week, in practice, and look, he asks for the ball all the time anyway. He's really going to ask for the ball and let his quarterback know he's open.
Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. On second down, here's Keenum. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Sutton. Now the Broncos will use their third and final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Keenum now 11 of 17 passing thus far. He's got his guys a 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Keenum. Four yards on the pickup, and it'll bring up a second down. Now Keenum throwing on second. And he's going to have the hook up to Sutton. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we toss it an hour or so east of here to Orlando. It's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, let's get to some of these scores around the NFL here in a busy Week 14. We'll start in Arrowhead. A big crowd on hand to see KC host the LA Chargers in an AFC West matchup. And it is the Chargers who have the lead in the second quarter. Travis Benjamin, up near 100 yards receiving with a touchdown as well. From there, let's head cross-country to D.C. Check out the Redskins at home at FedEx Field. And you can see they trail in that matchup against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Ben Roethlisberger has thrown a couple of touchdown passes. Lastly, let's head up to the Twin Cities to check in on the Vikings at home in Minneapolis. And they were victorious in that one over the visiting Jacksonville Jaguars. 31-10 was the final score. Meanwhile, in our game, no shortage of offense as each team has been able to move the ball effectively. Will the defenses show up in the second half? To find out, we give it back to our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. Both these offenses have been in fine form. What will the second half bring us as we are underway in quarter three? This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Out come the Buccaneers. They'll have it first to start in the third quarter. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
A first down carry by Elliott. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
All right, here we go.
Looking to throw. And a catch right side by Evans. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
Set! Green 39! Green 39! Hot!
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. His throw caught at about the 5. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. O.J. Howard, his 21st touchdown of the season. And the Buccaneers here finding a way to stretch their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch. The key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Point after now from Catanzaro. Extra point up and good by Catanzaro. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting.
Trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Brian Poole. And they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line.
Oh, man, Brandon, not a real good throw that time. He looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, this is a dream. He could have fair caught that one. That was way too easy.
The Buccaneers in good field position here to start out 1st and 10.
Now let's go.
They'll start the drive with Elliott. A little juke. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the 1st down. That's exactly what they did.
And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. First down, here's the run with Montgomery. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. Again, they'll go ground with Montgomery. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. Look at a nice little drive brewing right here.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. This is caught. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. O.J. Howard, touchdown number 22 on the season. And the Bucs are going to add on to their lead.
You have fun with this one, partner?
I am. I mean, he's been fun to watch under center.
We always talk about, getting to the next level, right? When we see people get into the zone, this guy's in the master class right now. What a performance he's putting on, just carving them up. 4
touchdown passes. Carving him up is right. Seems like everything he throws is going to be a completion and going in the end zone. Extra point good by Catanzaro. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And Denver getting set to take the field. And last time, 1-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one. Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. There's Freeman. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
Early down stuff's to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Again, they'll run with Freeman. And 3 yards there takes him to the 45.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Throwing is Keenum on 3rd down. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Bobby McCain. And he will score. Touchdown, Tampa Bay.
Well, you start to feel sorry now for the young man throwing the football. This is really turning into a disaster.
Listen, it's baptism. All right, this is almost a rite of passage. This young in the league, go back and find a Hall of Fame quarterback and check their records for their first 2 years, especially if they started the bulk of the games. I bet you'll find double-digit interceptions on just about every one of them. They have to learn as they go along.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And Denver getting set to take the field. And they gave up the pick 6, and now they'll be looking to right the ship here. Now, as a quarterback, are you a little more cautious this go-around?
You should be, just because after what you gave up. But you can't be so cautious as to just really take things in, and now you're not going to play loose enough to give your team a chance to score. But you still have to be careful because those defensive guys, I know the reputation defense guys can't catch. Evidence to the contrary on that last possession, though.
And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Tremaine Edmonds there to bring him down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
On 2nd down, here's Keenum. Caught left side by Hilton. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs. They'll fake the handoff. Now Keenum. Looking deep for Demarius. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. 2nd down.
And attempted a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. Now it's Freeman. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Broncos 1st down.
I know anytime you watch a team run the ball really well, there's some pinball effect, people bouncing off of each other. There's also some things of beauty in there when you see these nice, explosive, strong runs. And this guy, he knows how to carry the football really well and continually wants the football. Why? He knows the offensive line is going to give him great effort, and he gives great effort himself to finish off runs.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
And he'll bring this one inside the 35. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
The Broncos on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2. A shotgun snap for Keenum. And able to find Deshaun Hamilton complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Denver has a 1st down on the 15-yard play.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Freeman. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. 12 more yards there and another 1st down. Now it's Keenum. That is caught at the 7-yard line. No gain there on the completion. It'll be second down.
Okay, we got four. We got four. We got 4 down. Let's go.
They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. From the gun, it's Keenum. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. A gain of 4 on the play, and that's going to bring up an interesting 3rd and goal. They got to have 6 here. It's 3rd and goal. Keenum. Got his man, it's Thomas. Touchdown, Denver. Demaryius Thomas with touchdown number 2 in the game and now 11 on the year. And the Broncos cut into that lead.
I know there are a bunch of people that actually hate this route. They don't think it's successful very often. But if you get a little bit of space and you throw them away.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for. And this touchdown will count. They send Thomas out to the right by himself. Now Keenum, got to have this one. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down just inside the 5-yard line. Reggie Ragland in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. A breakdown by the O-line at the worst possible time. 4th and goal, and it leads to a sack.
I can just see it now. On the sidelines, they're telling the quarterback, you've got to get rid of it somehow, some way. At least get it in the end zone and give us a chance. If we throw an interception, so what? A sack? We didn't even have a chance.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. That one goes for 24 yards. Well, I'm sure he likes his performance a little bit better than last week. He had the 3 interceptions here, none in the 4th quarter, and he's got his guys in front.
Guaranteed he put in a tremendous amount of work this week, but maybe the matchup is just better for him. Sometimes it just doesn't work out. It's almost like those golfers. Certain courses fit their eye, and they like what they see, and other courses, as soon as they tee it up, they know they have no shot. Maybe that's the difference for him. Last week, no.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Sua Cravens with a pick. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. Their passing game has been spectacular this afternoon. Finally, a win for the defense.
You think maybe there was an adjustment there. Finally gained a measure of, I don't even know if you call it revenge, but got a play done against him, and that's been difficult for them all game long.
Keenum now to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Sutton. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. A very solid gain of 27. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
And they'll run it here. A good display of power, but it will only get him just inside the 5 to the 4. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
On third down, that's Freeman. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Denver. Royce Freeman with his second touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Broncos get a bit closer. And now the offense is going to stay out there as the Broncos will go for 2. He's doing his part, but still facing a sizable deficit.
And he would like to do more, but he needs help from the other 2/3, right? He needs his defense to bow up a little bit, and he also needs special teams to maybe create some big plays and help them get back in it.
So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the Buccaneers able to recover. Their hands team does its job. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of an anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
I don't want to make a story where there's not one, but he threw the 3 interceptions last week. Looked a little uncomfortable. He looks much more comfortable today.
Yeah, just 1 pick so far and his team leads. So now they can play complementary football, meaning if he takes care of the ball and his offense, if they're humming along, the defense doesn't have to be out there as long. He's taking care of his guys on the other side of the ball.
They're enjoying a fourth quarter advantage. Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. That one doesn't find its target, but all in all, he's been much sharper this week. He was under 50% a week ago, and now he's up over 70%.
But you know it's standard for quarterbacks and receivers getting together for a little extra time each and every day in practice. I get the sense they got together for a lot of extra time this week to try and improve that passing percentage, and it's worked out quite well.
All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's third down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. Montgomery a first down and then some. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. Extra point up and good by Catanzaro. And they open the lead up now to 25. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it's all finished off with a touchdown by Tampa Bay. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Returning it, Carlos Henderson runs through the contact. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. And Denver getting set to take the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
Well, it wasn't a big strike, but that completion put them in really great range. What do we have now, 4th and inches?
Yeah, it's not more than a half a foot.
You know what I would do here?
You would always go for it.
I'm one of those guys.
Now the Buccaneer offense set to take over again. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels, because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. All right? And sometimes you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same. Everything's familiar. You feel right going into the game, and they translated that into a win.
They did indeed. They protected the home field, and now the final stages. After the incompletion, they'll try once more from the 20-yard line on 2nd and 10.
Hurry up, here we go.
That one looks like he'll throw here. And this one is incomplete. The Bucs on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. He'll drop to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And he'll take it just outside the 40. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And it'll be a short field for the Broncos as they take over 1st and 10. A 4th quarter score, meanwhile, from Kansas City. Chargers continue to pull away. They have opened that lead up even further. Chris Thompson, a touchdown run to help lead the way. Now a 1st down throw. Keenum. He's going to let it fly. And incomplete. He dropped it in the end zone.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. From the gun, here's Keenum. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But it looked like, fortunately, the Broncos able to recover. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this third and long play as we'll get a timeout. As they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in the football game. On third and long, it's Keenum. Over the middle, open is Thomas. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. They get 13, but it's not nearly enough. And it'll be fourth down. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Tampa Bay, their very slim playoff hopes remain as they move to 6-7 on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Detroit Lions. Meanwhile, for Denver, they're squarely in play for next year mode now as they